welcome back to my channel. So welcome to another reading vlog. Hint 1, hint 2, a Taylor Jenkins Reid reading vlog. Sorry to interrupt, but since filming this I have decided to make this a series. I thought I would just come on here and let you know what it's going to be all about. This series of vlogs is going to be called Author Rewind, where I read either a few, a bunch, or the whole set of an author's backlist and vlog it for you. This one, I'm only reading a few of Taylor Jenkins Reid's backlist books, but in future vlogs, I may be reading someone's whole backlist or whatever. It's gonna change video to video, but I will be reading authors' backlist books, and that will be this vlog series. That is what this vlog is about and the start of a new series, so I hope you enjoy it. Let me know down below if there's any authors specifically you want me to read their backlist. If it's someone with like double-digit amount of books, I'm probably not going to read them all. I will read some, so let me know down below and I will definitely start playing some of those. Now let's go back to the normal video. Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid are two of the most popular books on BookTube, BookTok, Bookstagram, literally everywhere. So, and I still haven't read either of them. I have actually read Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid because I wanted to read it at the end of last summer, just because this book is also set at the end of summer, and this was the only one that I owned at that point by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I did enjoy this. It wasn't my favorite book, but I think I gave it like 4 stars and it was good. I know technically in this one there's a character from The Seven Husbands. I don't think it's going to like ruin my experience of reading this or this, but I guess we'll find out. I don't think so. I want to finally get to these two because I've been wanting to for a long time, and I don't know what keeps holding me back or stopping me. Nothing really. But I did recently get the audiobook for Daisy Jones and the Six on Audible, and it's just at one-time speed is like 9.5 hours or something approximately, and so I'm gonna make it faster than that so I could read this pretty fast. So I don't know why I'm putting it off, I just have been, and I actually haven't looked, but I'm pretty sure it'd be like the same for this one as well. So I just wanted to start this vlog so I can start reading these books, but I'm gonna start off with Daisy Jones and the Six, so let's roll into what this book is about. Daisy Jones and the Six is an interview style based book about a band. It is set in the 60s, and there is Daisy Jones and there's the Six. A producer thinks the best thing for the band and Daisy Jones is to put them together, and so that's what happens, and we kind of just follow the rise and fall, I believe. It's late 60s and the 70s, so it is that time period, and I'm really excited for it, and I'm hoping I really love it like everyone else does. I hope it lives up to the hype. Hello, it's been like a month and a half. Yeah, it's been a hot minute, but I finally read one of the books for this vlog. I went on vacation with my mom this month. We both wanted to read Daisy Jones and the Six, so I thought it was a good opportunity for us to listen to the audiobook of this, so that is what we did, because the drive is super long and the audiobook for this is only about 9 hours without increasing the speed at all. We read like a bit over half of this on the way there and the rest on the way back. I actually wrote down thoughts while I was on vacation so I wouldn't forget them, so let's go grab that. I don't remember, I think I maybe said what this was about. This is about Daisy Jones and the Six, who are a rock band in the 70s. They start out as Daisy Jones and the Six as separate entities, but then a producer brings them together for a song. It kind of just blossoms from there, and we read this book in an interview style, which is why I read it as an audiobook, because people recommend doing that and reading along. I tried to read along, but some of the drive is a little too windy that I wasn't really able to read along very much. We just kind of follow the things that this band goes through together individually and all that kind of stuff. So there's drug abuse, addiction, relationships, a bunch of different stuff like that, because at the beginning they're separate, like I said. It starts in 1965 and ends, it follows them specifically until 1979, but then they do a little catch up of what happened over the next, I think it goes to like 2012 or something, so the next like 30 years. I enjoyed this. I was setting myself up. I think I really wanted to love this. I really wanted it to be like in my favorite books of all time, favorite books of the year, and it's just not. It's not gonna be. It's good, but it's not amazing, and I really wanted it to be amazing because so many people like it, and I just wanted to join that group. And I do like it, but so many people love it and are obsessed with it, and it's their favorite book, and I really wanted that to be me. And I don't know if that was part of the reason I didn't like it as much as I was hoping, or if it was just the book. At the beginning, when the two, like the Six and Daisy Jones, are separate, I thought the story of the Six was more interesting. Daisy's was interesting for a short amount of time, and then it kind of felt like it got repetitive. This is my notes that I wrote for halfway. I wrote, not the most interesting story. It just wasn't gripping me that much that I needed to know what was happening next, or there was parts that were really interesting, but then there'd be parts that were just like, that's fine, yeah, that's good. So it was a lot of that. At halfway, I'm enjoying it, but it is not standing out, feeling like a 4 stars at the moment. If you hear my cat, she just came into my room, so she might start meowing. The second half was better, but it still wasn't this amazing thing. I don't know, it just still wasn't super incredible. I keep thinking like there's something missing. I don't know what it is though. I would not be able to tell you what it is, but there's something missing. So maybe just a little bit of an I don't know, a little bit of stakes or excitement. And I know that sounds stupid because it's just like contemporary, but it's missing something. I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's what it is. I have no idea. Overall, it just felt kind of slow and repetitive. Like there's a huge chunk of this where they're making an album, and some of that was really fun, but some of it was repetitive and like, I got it. I don't need to hear that again. But this is being made into an adaptation. I believe it's a show, but it could be a movie, and I think I'm gonna like it more than I like the book. Just the way this is set up with the interview style, I think it is set up more to be in a show format, kind of more like a documentary interview thing. That's how I pictured it, because we're not even in any of the moments. They're just it's like they're in the interview telling us about the moments. So I don't know, I just think it'll be better in the show or movie, I don't know. So I'm really excited for that. I think it maybe comes out at the end of the year, but I could be wrong. So at this point, the only other Taylor Jenkins Reid that I have read is Malibu Rising, and that one I thought was pretty slow at the beginning too. I don't know, I think I maybe like Malibu Rising better, but I also don't know if they're just like the same. Neither of them are huge standouts of books that I've read, but they're good. I did go book shopping when I was on vacation, and I looked for her books, but they only had Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and they had this other one, but I can't remember what it was called. And I am kind of interested in it, but not as interested as I am in some of her other books and other books in general that I need to read first, so I didn't get it. For this vlog, I still need to read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I think I'll enjoy this one, My mom didn't really enjoy this one very much, but she's read this one and she loved this one, and she's read Malibu Rising as well, and this was her favorite out of the three. I really have no idea why I haven't read it yet. Finally get to it, and hopefully this is my favorite. So I will let you know when I start reading this. Hopefully I'll have better updates for you, at least let you know when I'm starting it and halfway. This one was kind of last minute, deciding to read it on vacation. Hello. I think I'm gonna start The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo today. If I don't today, it'll be like tomorrow. So I thought I would let you know. This might take me a little bit to read because I'm gonna actually be reading 2 books at once. It's just something I'm doing right now. See if it works. I think I'm going to get the audiobook. I don't know. I think this one's one where you don't have to, so I might listen to the sample. Have I talked about what this is about? I have no idea, so I'll just let you know what it's about. This is about Evelyn Hugo, who is this Hollywood icon in the 60s, I don't know. This is mainly set in the 50s to the 80s, when that is her big time as a star and an icon. So later on, she asks a reporter to write her story. The reporter doesn't actually know why she is picked, and like no one knows why she is the one that is picked to write this story. It tells her story of the ups and downs throughout those years, everything that happened, and all her love and all the love during those years, the 7 husbands. I'm really excited to read it. Most people love it. My mom really loved it. This was her favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid that she's read, and she's read Malibu Rising and Daisy Jones and the Six like me, so she's ahead of me on these books. So I need to get to it. She wants me to read it, so I'm gonna get to it. I'm excited. I just want to get to it, so I need to start it because I'm not going another month or putting this on my TBR and not reading it. We're not doing that, but I'll see you then. Hello, long time no see. I have some updates. I read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. For some reason I thought it'd be a good idea to read this and another book at the same time, and I'm just not good at doing that. And I only got in about like 60 pages into this book. And then I went on vacation to a beach and I took this book, so I would for sure get to it this month. I asked for a Taylor Jenkins Reid book that I loved, that I adored, that I got the hype of Taylor Jenkins Reid from. And ask and you shall receive, because I loved this book. I gave it 5 stars, easy peasy. I read, like I said, I read like the 60 pages, and then I read the rest of it pretty quickly between 2 days on the beach. I just read super fast, super easy, and I just wanted to keep knowing what happened next. I'm so glad I finally read this and that I finally loved a Taylor Jenkins Reid book. This is totally worth the hype in my opinion. I think it's so good, and I really enjoyed the setup of it. This one is also interview based, right? Which Daisy Jones and the Six was as well. But I much more enjoyed the interview-based style for this one than the one in this one. It just felt more compelling, and I don't know, it was just a personal preference, I guess. But this story is amazing, crazy, everything. I also really liked the way that it was set up in you read as the husbands go on. Each part is like connected to a husband. Some are more important than others, but they all have interesting parts, and they all are important in some way to the story. And I found that having it in those parts of the husbands also helped me read it faster, because I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna read until this husband's done, and then I would want to pick it up again and keep reading because I wanted to know what happened with the next husband. There are a lot of different topics and different representation in here that I can't speak for, so there is that, but I really enjoyed this, and it'll definitely be one of my favorite books that I've read this year for sure. Easily, that was just added to it, so I'm glad I finally read it, and it made me feel much better about continuing to read Taylor Jenkins Reid. Not that I was gonna stop, but it was just like, maybe I shouldn't anticipate her books as much, but this put me back on to anticipating her books. I think this just made me like revamp my excitedness, my excitement. I don't know why I said excitedness. My excitement for her as an author and reading her books in the future. So I just brought the 3 books that I've read by her over here. I know I didn't read Malibu Rising in this vlog, but I read it in August or September, and if I remember, I'll try and link. I think there's a monthly reading vlog, and there will be a wrap-up for sure, so I'll link those so you can hear more in-depth thoughts on that book when it happened. That was like a year ago now, scarily enough, so I don't fully remember everything. But out of these 3 books, I think this would be the order of my enjoyment. Evelyn Hugo, definitely my favorite by far, then Malibu Rising, then Daisy Jones and the Six. Again, nothing wrong with Daisy Jones and the Six, I just don't think, it's just not my favorite, and I think I hopefully will like it better in the adaptation, but we shall see. Maybe I'll do a second installment of reading Taylor Jenkins Reid vlog that I did. You let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do that, and then we can update this pile and see where everything lands. Okay, I'll be honest, I only recognized one name, but there could have been way more crossovers in these books that I just didn't recognize because I have read them. Well, these 2 I read decently near each other, but I read this one a whole year ago. So Mick Riva is in each of these books. I won't say to what capacity in any of them if you don't want to know, but so it was fun seeing like little things like that and how she connects her book. I kind of feel like there's maybe another connection, but I can't remember what it is now, so that was fun. But I think overall this vlog was a success. Daisy Jones got a 4-star and Evelyn Hugo got 5 stars, so that's pretty successful. I do feel like they, in my mind, are very different in my level of enjoyment, but giving Daisy Jones anything lower, like giving it a 3, just doesn't feel right, so I'm not gonna give it a 3. I'm excited to read from her in the future, so I think I will close this vlog out now. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and give it a big thumbs up. Both of those would mean the absolute world to me. Let me know down in the comments down below if you've read any of these books, or if you've read any of her other books, what you thought of them, what you think of her as an author. So I will see you in my next video. Bye!